What is going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. I'm on Passchendaele today, still playing the Apocalypse DLC maps. Gonna mix it up today though and use the Landship. So this is a tank that I've really rarely have used on the battlefield. When the game first came out, I did a little bit of some tanker gameplay and got pretty familiar with the heavy tank, light tank, and artillery truck, but never really got over to using the Landship at all. I actually had to go check my stats because for a while I've been in the top 1 percentile for kills on each of those 3 tanks I just mentioned, and I actually finally slipped out of the top percent, so now I'm in the top 2%. Funny enough though, I'm still got a 0.2% in the kills category for the Russian armored vehicle, so definitely actually kind of like that tank actually a lot, and especially on like operations mode on Galatia, if you're using that tank, definitely a pretty solid choice. So but I'm on Passchendaele, and again thought I would mix it up, use the Landship, see what I can do on this map, because this map is very infantry friendly, and I know already getting into the game that if I don't stick with my teammates and I get kind of lost out in no man's land, it's going to be a pretty easy target to be taken out. So definitely want to stay in the midst of my teammates and try to prevent anyone flanking around or just being engulfed from the enemy team. So I'm constantly going to be watching my mini map, going to be watching the flags up top, see what the enemy team has capped, and try to prevent them from basically flanking me from behind. So gonna want to stay in midst of my teammates, and then hopefully when I can, you know, get myself set up, lead the charge, and hopefully help my teammates out. Again, this is actually the first time me actually dedicating a full game to using the Landship. I've maybe picked it up maybe once or twice really quick, but you know, basically wasn't really trying with it. But this game, definitely seeing what I can do, as I'm gonna get myself posted up here by B. I know they're gonna be spawning way back over there in front of me, so I'm just gonna try to hold them off, even though I got a lot of heavy tank grenades being thrown at me, as well a lot of mortars too. So it's pretty easy. You can start off the game doing well, but the moment everyone kind of figures that out, especially when you're in a tank, you're definitely gonna be hunted for. And it's on a map like this, it isn't gonna have to you know, be too long for you to get hunted down. So again, I want to watch out for my back, stay with my teammates as much as I can. Fortunately, kind of coming up here in midway through the game, I'm actually going to get a support class who's going to start to repair me, so that is definitely nice. Want to eventually try out the Landship on maps like River Somme that are a little more friendly to the Landship, as much as with the 2 tracks allow me to maneuver actually probably the best out of all of the tanks on the maps. Passchendaele again is still not the map for, I think, tanks still to really do anything sufficient with it. But who knows, maybe some of you out there have been using the Landship on maps like Passchendaele. If you guys have been, and if you've been using some interesting strats, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Definitely always interested to hear any kind of different point of view people have in the game. Always find that pretty intriguing when you always discover something that you didn't really know people were doing, and it ends up being pretty effective. So, but yeah, like I was saying, definitely want to try this out on maybe River Somme, as I still think on the attacking side, if you got a solid support class with a Landship, you definitely should get yourself out of the wheat field. So that would be a interesting approach for me at the very beginning of the game, as lately, if you've been watching any of my videos, I've been just live in the projector and then get on that motorbike and get myself out of there. So gonna position myself there just enough to get my teammate on the side to use the cannon and blast the enemy's tank, as I'm not really using the tank hunter weapon for this Landship to really do any damage against any of the tanks, considering that it's primarily a infantry only map basically. And so yeah, I figured probably going to want to use the Landship that I think could do some pretty good infantry damage with his primary weapon. I know the other tank variant is like the light machine gun, and I don't know, I like the cannons more on my tanks. So like when I'm using I think, what is it, the flanker tank for The light tanks has a gun like this as well too on it. I think I might have mixed up the tanks, but whichever one on the light tank has that type of cannon that shoots out, I usually like using those instead. So yeah, definitely wanted to be laying shots on that tank, and thankfully my teammate was in the tank as well to do some damage with the cannon. So almost got myself there in a dicey situation. I wasn't sure. I thought I could hear people behind me, and it turns out there were enemy players there, but they weren't focused on me. And yeah, that kind of surprised me as I was getting there where I was realizing, yeah, I'm not dying. And, you know, eventually when you start getting, you know, 10, 15, up to that point, you know, people will start remembering you and want to make sure that they finish you off. So got away with one there, pushed ourselves down to C. I was kind of working my way backwards to C because their spawn is right there in front of me. But like I had made mention, there's a lot of mortar strikes that started coming in, and it was definitely kind of hindering me a bit. So yeah, that was almost as bad than like dealing with a scout class who's using his K bullets on you where you can't repair yourself. But yeah, he ends up, I don't know, someone ends up taking him out or something like that, or he gets distracted, doesn't focus on me anymore. I'm able to get out of there, re-heal myself, and get ourselves back by D, and try to hold the line here as best as I can and try to prevent them from making any more of a push, as we're kind of almost about to cap them completely, which is what I was kind of hoping, because I think it would be pretty nice just to have the Landship posted up there by B and just be able to kind of blast enemy players as they're trying to get out of their home spawn. So I was kind of hoping I'd get that gameplay, but turns out that's not going to be the case here. They're actually going to somewhat hold us down, actually start flanking us from behind here. So that was kind of threw me off here a little bit, as I wasn't quite sure what I want to do here, as we got players behind me and in front of me, and they're just chucking grenades at me. But I got my teammate who is repairing me, so props to you, man. Definitely a trooper to be able to just chill out on top of my Landship here and repair me constantly, even though I did a terrible job keeping him on my vehicle. So yeah, I was doing that a lot this game. So some of that terrain there on the side is pretty nasty, even with the Landship. And I kind of wanted to avoid staying in the middle of this map. For some reason, I just don't like being anywhere near the middle of this map on Passchendaele. It's just like, if you're in the middle of the map, it's like on any flag, you're just a target. Everyone can see you. It's like, it's the closest place. I don't know. I don't want to be there at all. But gonna be okay. Gonna push up here. Want to lay shots down on that Landship again. Try to get a head start on him, as I wasn't sure if he was maybe gonna swap to the tank hunter variant of the Landship. So I want to get as much damage as I could on him as quick as I could, just so I could hopefully deter him a little bit and push him back, which is the case. He's going to move back a little bit and give my teammates a little bit more time. Wasn't really paying attention here what I was doing, trying to get a good angle to shoot against enemy players, but I'm going to kind of realize what I'm doing here in a second, realize I'm not on the extra territory, which kind of defeats the purpose, especially when you have a heavy armored vehicle like this. So after I get myself punished here a little bit and I begin to realize all my teammates are spawning into my tank, I'm going to actually get to push myself back up towards here to B in a second. I'm going to push my way back here for now, though, just because we're getting hit by more mortars and everything like that. But once I kind of get our bearings again and get ourselves reset, I'm going to want to get onto the territory, as there's really, you know, as much as you want to get a good shot on enemy players, if you don't have a good shot, definitely want to get on the capture zone, especially if you got a, you know, tank where you got people are spawned into. But definitely was taken in consideration all of having teammates spawn into me. It is nice when you have a tanker class that doesn't die, because you can just jump into that vehicle and get a good spawn location. Fortunately, lately for me, it seems like every time I jump into a Landship, I'm always dying. Even though they have made that update that happened, I don't know how many updates ago, where it tells you the health of the vehicle you're jumping into, so you don't kind of jump in blindly and find yourself in a vehicle with 0.1 health, and then you get yourself killed instantly. But yeah, it is nice having that. But even then, lately I've still been jumping in them just because I want to get a good position on the map, but it seems like I'm being a little too anxious to get a good position jumping into a vehicle that has, you know, 30, 20 points worth of health left. It's like an easy AT rocket gun or something like that can finish them off. So, but there you go. You saw me there a second ago getting back on the territory, but now I'm getting nervous here because, as you can see, they basically got all the territories capped. Besides B here, and that was kind of threw me off, and now I'm getting shot by the AT rockets, and now I'm more of a focus as I kind of realize, oh hey, you know, this guy keeps killing me. They go look on the score screen, I haven't died yet. So yeah, definitely we want to cap A. I don't want to actually get into A because I don't want to get stuck in there. And again, this is my first time really using the Landship only on this map, so trying to get used to, you know, where to drive on this map really, as yeah, there's a lot of things to get stuck on just by you running on the map. So my big mistake here though was I shouldn't have stopped to try to heal myself. I should have went and just completely flanked all the way around, all the way back towards to E, as you see us lose B here, and we're not really going to cap A. And now we got enemy players spawning behind me, and I can hear them with their footsteps. And yeah, I should have just made a complete push towards to E and D around that area, and that would have been a better call. So I knew there was a possibility I was going to get ambushed really quick on this map. I didn't know how quick it was going to be, and before I know it right here, I'm going to finish off this one guy, but I kind of exposed the side of my tank over there to the left, and I'm going to get shot from an AT rocket gun. But yeah, it moves quickly on this map if you're not careful and watching out where your teammates are at and what is happening in the game. It creeps up on you, and it's really not much room for error, as my only hope there was to make a complete push back to my home spawn, but I hesitated and I paid the price. So fortunately I was able to pick up the Landship again right afterwards. Gonna get myself posted back up here towards B. The exact same thing I was doing earlier, and try to prevent them from pushing up, trying to hold them off. Good thing we kind of got ourselves back in order here, as I'll tell you what, Passchendaele again is a map where I think it's the only map in the game where you can like cap the whole enemy team and then find yourself on the other end of that and find all your bases capped like 5 minutes later. This map like moves fast. It will creep up on you if you're not careful. So yeah, this map is definitely pretty interesting when it comes to that. So I didn't want that to happen, because that would be a pretty severe turn in the game. Even though they were holding up pretty well, the majority of the game was pretty close, but it seemed like they were just having a hard time getting right over the edge. Was that because of the Landship gameplay? I don't know, probably not. Wouldn't say I like hurt my teammates, but when I'm not in the Landship right now, playing as an infantry player, I'm doing pretty well. This map definitely works well if you're, in my opinion, the assault class. So being that's my class of choice, yeah, definitely probably would have helped my teammates try a little bit more doing that instead. So going to try to get myself set up here and get myself positioned again, as they're capping D now. And I'm like, okay, now they're behind me. I want to push down there by D, and I saw that one assault class right there. I knew I was gonna have to finish them off. I spent a little bit too much time trying to take out that medic class. I should have again made another push back towards the D. So again, a mistake of mine, and man, I got to finish off there so quick. So again, this map, yeah, it'll punish you if you're not careful. And if you're in the Landship, you don't really have much room for error. You gotta catch that instantly, and I let it slip up by me twice. So, but now I'm gonna get the Landship again. Game's progressed a little bit more now. We're almost at the end, but we basically were able to keep that little lead. We weren't really able to separate ourselves, but had some pretty solid teammates that are actually able to hold their own. So that made it pretty helpful. As I'm gonna try to hold the line here, as I'm taking a bunch of damage from AT rocket guns. But yeah, that's basically my first show on trying to use the Landship on Passchendaele, and really I think in a whole game. Actually, I can't remember a last game I've had where I actually was just using Landship purely throughout that whole game. So interesting stuff going on here. Feel free to let me know your guys' thoughts down below about the Landships on these maps, how you guys are feeling about the tank gameplay on the Apocalypse DLC maps. Again, I will be down there in the comments, but again, I appreciate you guys being here. I am Living, and I'll catch you guys again later. Peace.